like what that feels like living, this mother and these daughters, like in these cramped quarters. And Gene Litt, who shot the movie, he was so used to working in tiny spaces, and he and I had worked together before this on our film Border Radio that we both co-directed with Kurt Voss. And Gene shot that as well in a trailer, not in a warehouse, in Mexico. So he was used to shooting in really cramped spaces, and we liked that feeling, you know, a lot. But then we love these big landscapes as well, and of course New Mexico, you can't, it's just too fantastic. Even though we shot in a deliberately, like we chose like a location that was not Santa Fe, not the really beautiful New Mexico, because we wanted to give that sense of like this a crappy place, but it's magical as well, you know.
Okay, do we have any more questions from the audience? There's one over here.
Yes. Hi, I saw the film for the first time tonight, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm not sure how it came across 25 years ago, but I still think that it's very, you know, recent and up to date. But
thank you.
But what I wanted to ask you was, because there is a lot of Spanish in the film, and you know, there are no subtitles. And I was wondering, you know, why did you decide that? Because there is that tender moment between Javier and Shade in the desert when he's telling her about kissing, that he wants to kiss her all over or whatever.
Yes.
I'm not sure if those that don't speak Spanish missed out on that.
I know. It kills me to this day. You know, I was sitting there watching that and I thought, if there was anything I would change about this movie, it would be that. So you hit it, because I really feel like, and I was thinking nowadays people are so used to reading Spanish subtitles on TV even, you know, it's not a big deal. But at the time it was like kind of a big deal, and it was a little expensive because this was film. So, I mean, we don't have a second comma in gas, food, lodging because we couldn't afford it. So the subtitling became this financial issue, but I remember Jay Mascis, he was so bummed out when he saw the movie without the subtitles. He was like, that's what made it so romantic for, you know, he says that, I don't even understand what the scene's about now. You know, so it was a bummer. So I would agree that, and I'd like to know, you know, there's stuff that I wrote too that I'd like to like have people like know what's being said, like the Elvia Rivero films. You know, I'd like for people to know what the content of those. Thank you.
I don't need a microphone, I don't think. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful film. It's the first time I've seen it. I'm about the same age as the characters, so it's quite interesting, kind of the resonance that I felt. It hasn't dated, and yet I could see myself, you know, and imagine myself having watched it when it was made, being pretty much their age. But it also felt like, though it hasn't dated, it did feel like it was from that classic era of independent filmmaking when we were going to see films like Wild at Heart and Baghdad Cafe and these amazing independent films that would come and I could go and see in the north of England, you know, in Yorkshire or wherever. Yeah. And I just wondered how it was for you, having come from that era of filmmaking to now and seen all the changes and how that feels to still be making films, but in this, you know, very different landscape that we're in now.
Yes, so different.